Hey everybody, this is a little project I'm doing with an old 870, well, I won't say that old, an 870 Super Magnum. I wasn't very impressed with how it looked, especially the wood. It's a cheap piece of wood. Checkering is just, not even really checkering, just stamped. But I'm going to try to give it a light sanding. I will avoid the checkering. Got a little R label here. Just a quick little light sanding. I'm going to start putting some tung oil on it and see if it brings out the color any better. And you can tell right now, like, no oil even seeped in from what they sprayed on it. So we're going to see what it looks like. Still a lot of grooves in it, so we should suck it up pretty good. We'll see what happens. And we'll see what happens if we, this is the original wood. Take this and apply a little tung oil, a little elbow grease to it, and see what happens. So I'm going to do, I say real light. This is 400 grit paper. Just going to rough it up a little bit. Well, I'm going to use, like I say, I keep the dust on it, and I'll use that when I put the oil on it. Just use it all together. So it's almost like a slurry. Helps fills in some of the gaps. Not to go crazy. I'm not going to put too much pressure on it. Just want to kind of rough up the surface. Give it a nice coat. There's a little R label here. Just slightly over that. If you do put a lot of pressure on, you gotta be careful around these edges and keep them sharp. Some people get a little sand and block out. So I'm just doing a real light sanding. Avoiding the checkering. But when I do put the oil on, I might go at least one coat over the checkering. Alright, let's see what a little tung oil looks like. I get on my fingers, actually rub it in. Rubbing it hard, kind of heats it up at the same time. Helps it penetrate. Ooh, a little too much. Spread it out. Quick coat over the checkering. Dry part of the body. Drag some excess off. And I'm going to try to hit this dry part. It's never been touched with any oil at all. Same on this side. The first coat I always do a little heavy. See how much it soaks in. It's gonna take at least, I don't let it sit for a day. This is 100% tung oil. It takes a little longer. It doesn't have the additives that the drying additives that some commercial stuff you'll buy has. I'm gonna let it dry a little longer. I'll find something to perch that up on. Click on the forearm. See, this checkering, like this is just stamped, not even checkered. Let's see if this gets a little darker because this is a little bit lighter than the original, than the buttstock, even in the original stain. Alrighty. We'll find something to perch this up on. Let it dry overnight. See what happens. Might turn out nice. Might be, might just be a little project. There you go. There, we'll see how it looks. Let it sit overnight, let it dry. And after a couple more coats, we'll see if it gets even darker. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, this is that Remington project I was doing. This is after 3 coats of oil, light sanded. It's a little wet here. Gave it a little bit of color, but not much. It's sucking in a little bit, you can tell, back in here. So we did absorb some of the oil. It's dry now. So what I'm going to do is, this one didn't get as dark as that one, but this was lighter also, the forearm. It's pretty much all dry now. It's been about a week and a half, a little bit, around 8 days. I put 2 coats on right away, and I had to let it dry for about 2 or 3 days, and I put the last coat on, and gave it a good 5 days to dry. It's still a little seeping out a little bit, but I'm going to put a coat of wax on this. I'll put the whole thing back together and see how it looks, see what it's before and the after. Okay, let's see what happens. Alright. I'm going to use this Renaissance wax. It's a wood wax. Any type of wood wax is fine. So I'll put a little bit on my finger. And rub it in, and rubbing it hard, you kind of want to warm it up a little bit. Let it seep in. This will give a nice little protective coating. It'll protect it from water damage or anything like that. Normally I would avoid the checkering. Like I said, this is not very good checkering. It's just stamped. So, not that concerned. I'll try not to get too much in it though, but basically I'll just rub it in real rough, warm it up with my hands. And after that, give it about 20 minutes, half hour, let it dry. Then I'll wipe it off with a clean cloth. That's it. Let's see what it looks like. I think it's been enough time. So no. Went down the old excess wax off of it. Clean cloth. Let's see what it looks like. Put it back all back together. Try to compare with before and after pictures on the video. I don't know how well it's going to come out. They give it a little bit of color, but you can tell it's not a very good quality wood. A little excess here in this checkering. Try to get it out. And the forearm. That. Inside for a second. Put the forearm back together. There we get the castle nut. Sometimes it's hard to start. Got this little screw. Came with my, this is actually from Magpul. When I bought another forearm for my Mossberg 500 that I upgraded. Snug it up. Buttstock back on here. We got a shim, a screw, let's see how hard it's going to be to start this bad boy. Get it started. Where's the groove? Get it snug. Make sure it lines up nicely. As nice as it's going to get. It looks nice and even around. Put the butt plate on. And always put a little bit of grease. Took my screwdriver so you don't damage the rubber on the butt plate. kind of work back and forth. I want to tighten one all the way down and have the other one sticking too far out. Like half and half. Yep. Now for a quick lube, always get a little bit of grease, put it on the tracks where your bolt slides on. And this side. Then we can put our magazine follower and spring back in. Just do a quick spray with some the COP. Follower in. And like here, this little groove here, you push it in and you turn it, kind of locks it in place. There you go. It locks it in place. Good there. Now for your trigger, always put a little pressure on your hammer. Take your safety off, release your hammer. Now put a little bit of oil. Kind of like moving parts, like where your hammer is connected to the drop here, or your plunger here, or your carrier right here where it's hinged up. A little plunger here, and a little spring right here. Get back in, make sure everything locks up. I'm working a couple times. Just keep constant pressure on it. You don't want it slamming you. Lock it back, put the safety back on. So we're going to reinstall the trigger assembly. So make sure everything's pushed in nice, centered up. Try to line up the holes. And spray a little CLP on these bad boys. Oh, it was lined up. There you go. Should it flush? There you get your bolt. I already sprayed this out. Spray it one more time. Just get a little spray clean. Let the Essex out of the where the firing pin is and the spring. Make sure everything works nice out. It's wide open underneath. Make sure your extractor works, is free, it works. And I'm just going to leave it like that. We're going to put a little bit of grease. Just kind of rub it all in. Some people just use oil. I use a little bit of grease. There's one way on here. Slide it in. That's the tricky part sometimes. Sometimes it goes right in, sometimes it doesn't. Got the two little levers down underneath here. You got to push and work your way in. There you go. Barrel. Can't remember if I sprayed anything down here or not. Okay, excess off the outer chamber. Use a bore snake. Come on, there you go. Wow. I got an extra full choke on here, extended. It's a little tight getting through. It in. Put your retainer nut on. And that is it. Alright, so this is the end result. The Remington project I did. Had about 8 days, 9 days of sanding, put some oil on it, wax on it, I clean it up. And the wood turned out pretty decent. What I had to work with. I think the buttocks nice, nicer color. It's a little darker in the front, but well, that's my Remington project I did. Remington 870 Super Magnum. Got an extended extra full choke on it. Well, that's it. Now look to the next project. All right, thanks for watching.